Hey, welcome back to the Lotto Arcana YouTube channel. We have a couple openings to do, as well as to talk about why I ended up getting these items. On the screen, you can also see the slab we have previously, the Mickey Mouse promo. That's set up all. Once I open these up, I will replace the Mickey Mouse slab. Though, spoiler alert, I hope we did get another Mickey Mouse. Um, I ended up getting two. Maybe I'll resell one. I don't really know. I do like the card, so I'm perfectly fine keeping it as a collection, personal item. So I hope your day is going well. I've removed these out of the cardboard because I'm hoping that'll make less noise on video with it. If it's a problem, let me know. I'll leave them fully open. It doesn't necessarily have to be done this way. So let's see what we got first. So I don't only have PSA slabs. I do have some CGC, which is what I have here. I apologize for that noise already. That does not sound good. So, personal preference of mine here. I like the way PSA slabs look. If you're reselling, I think they work very well. They hold their value. CGC can, it just depends. So hopefully that's working together. You can see that. Unintended, because the card is worked together. I don't really like how the CGC Gem Mint tens look or anything underneath that. The Pristine tens, though, this look, that's clean. I absolutely love how that looks. So I will take CGC Pristine tens. I think the Beckett tens as well also look pretty good. But overall, I typically collect PSA cards. There's always the exception with it. So, why this card? Well, if you're new to Lorcana, you may be surprised or not surprised, like everything else. It's humans who do it, so there are errors associated with it. And this card has an error. It is what I truly call an error because you might have seen, I think it was in England's, that the Ursula Deceiver of All was called a misprint because it was either Floodborn or Dreamborn, and it should have been the other. But Lorcana never actually fixed that. So I don't consider that a true error. Like, sure, in the app and how the game is played, it carries the other title, but in printing, that card always is one or the other. It's you never see Floodborn and or Dreamborn on two different types of cards with it, right? So anyone advertising, oh, it's a misprint or things like that, it's not, because you're not going to find the other one. This card, the Work Together, is a misprint. It has been corrected, and so finding them became a little bit rare after the first chapter. If you're an Emperor's New Groove fan, that's the hint to figure out what the error with this is. It has nothing to do with the game itself. This is a spelling error, which I find pretty amusing. But if you've watched the movie, it's Pacha, not Pasha. This has been corrected. And so when I saw a foil Pristine 10 available, I think this was through eBay. Actually, strange enough, through the PSA distribution on that, I was like, okay, I got to have this card. Is this something that I think will have a lot of resale value in the future? No clue. I doubt it. I don't honestly care. I like the card. I love that there's a typo in it, and I wanted to get one before, well, without the correction with it. I just find it pretty amusing. Plus, the artwork's pretty good in of itself. Pristine 10 adds to it. I haven't checked pop reports or anything like that. I just wanted something for myself that had that error associated with it. So there's not too many like this. We can talk about the Peter Pan. I think also in England, the Enchanted Peter Pan Pirate's Bane on some of the printings has, I think, an extra close parentheses or like the squiggly bracket with it. That is an error. It was corrected later. I recall when that first happened, when it was noticed, the card was going crazy in value with it. There were quite literally ungraded cards of that Enchanted selling for $500 confirmed, which is absolutely nuts. Right now, you can get a PSA 10 of that same card for less than $200. I know because I've actually sold one for under $200 in a PSA 10, and I have another one available on eBay if you really want it. It's also less than $200. I think my point of all this is that maybe don't be in a rush to try to go out and collect the card, especially after something is first released. Pricing changes drastically, and there seems to be this big FOMO, the fear of missing out if you're not familiar with it, about trying to get the card the fastest. If you have the disposable income and you really want to say that you got the cards 6 months before everyone else did, more power to you, I guess. I don't understand that. You can get the same card right now, 6 months, year, whatever it is later, graded for, probably 1/3 of the value of what it would have cost you when you first got it. I think the first PSA 10s that came out of that card were somewhere around $800 to $900, and now you can get it for less than 200. So keep that in mind when it comes to cards, especially on any new release that comes out. If you need the card for a tournament you have coming up, understand on that one. Sometimes you end up having to buy things, especially if you're fancy and you play with enchanted cards or you play with foil cards. I am not one of those people. I will only ever play with the non-foil variants of cards. I'm not that fancy. As I said, and I've said numerous times at this point, I'm a collector first. So that's a little bit of information about that. Let's go on to the next card. We'll see if it's the Mickey or if we get another error card. So 50-50 chance either way. Doesn't matter. I enjoy seeing what I got. All right. We got the other error card, another CGC Pristine 10. This will be added to the collection. If I can figure out how to open it at least. So this is the support error. So let's get this replaced out while I work together. And welcome to Merlin. This is on multiple cards, the support error. It reads, whenever this character quests, you may add effectively their power to chosen character's power this turn. Technically, you could add that to Merlin itself if you read that as written. That is not in accordance with the Lorcana rules. So the support has been changed. There's new printings of this that say that you can add that power to another chosen character's power. So Merlin could not grant this to himself. It would have to go to another character with it. There are, I think, 6 support cards, and they're not guaranteed that it's going to have that error. It was fixed later with it, and some of the cards didn't have that issue in the first place with it. This is another foil CGC Pristine 10 of that error with it. This one probably, less valuable, I would guess, than the Work Together, because it's a gameplay mechanic and happened across multiple cards, whereas the Work Together happened on that one card. They misspelled a character's name. These things happen. I'm not too worried about stuff like that. You'll get that in every card game. We're going to see more errors in the future. Some people value those more. I know people value crimped cards a bit more, or they might value the miscut, depending on like if it's super miscut. I'm not one of those people, but when it comes to collecting, especially for your personal collection, it should be about what you enjoy, first and foremost. If you like how a card looks and nobody else likes it or thinks that it has value, who cares? It's what makes you happy. That's the whole point of collecting or playing the game. It's to do things that are fun. And first and foremost, always enjoy what it is you're doing. Just the thing I would tell anyone at card show online, just because you think a card has value doesn't mean everyone else does. It doesn't mean that someone else is willing to pay for that as well too. There are cards, as you'll see in a video maybe released before this one, maybe it'll come out afterwards, but behind me I have all 12 legendary foils from the first chapter. Are they really valuable? Not really. The Elsa, the Stitch and stuff, they carry some value associated with it, but do people really want to collect the Gantu in a Gem Mint 10 cold foil? Not really. In fact, it was harder to find because nobody was grading them. But I paid a premium for them. Why did I pay a premium for them? Because I wanted to collect all 12 of those. First chapter is the first set that came out. It's something that me and the doctor enjoyed opening packs together. I like having that memory with it. And so, yeah, I paid a bit more for those cards. They're personal collection. They're not getting resold. If I ever did attempt to resell them, I'm probably taking a loss on them because they're not going to carry the value because nobody else wants those cards. So keep that in mind. Separate out your personal collection from a business if you're trying to make this a business, which if you are, good luck. Maybe don't make it your primary thing. So enough about that. I hope you enjoy the Merlin. You enjoy the error associated with it. We'll talk about the Mickey. Actually, let me open that up. And we'll talk about one other error that I have the card available. So if you want to see it, I can show it to you, but it's honestly nothing special. It's actually just an error with the Simba from the first chapter Enchanted compared to the non-enchanted version of it. Effectively, the Challenger wording is incorrect on the Enchanted, and it was never fixed with it. So it's like, okay. Does it do anything? No, the challenging rule still works as it is because there is no other enchanted form with the wording correct. Is it any more valuable? No, because you're always getting that Simba enchanted that looks the exact same way. So another Mickey PSA. Just to show you, there's two different ones. I wanted a second one. Why? Just because. But going back, you're going to see those sorts of errors with the card game, with the Simba Enchanted. You have that difference associated with it. I find it to be a little bit interesting, but because the Simba Enchanted wasn't reprinted in any way, it's not going to add any additional value just because the wording is incorrect. Now, what is interesting would be the Genie Enchanted, and maybe this is one I'll pull up in a short and show you, though I only have one version of it, but in early printings of the Genie Enchanted from the first chapter, there is a double sword in the printing of the Enchanted card. The one that I have has the double sword with it. Not all of them do. Right now, I haven't really seen that being acknowledged through like PSA grading or in pricing. There are people that try to ask for a premium to have the double sword on that. I'm not sure if it necessarily sells for that premium. I ended up getting my Genie probably a year ago at this point. I didn't even know it was a thing, and that may have been one of the only Genies that was available when it had the double sword printing with it. So maybe something to keep an eye on in the future. There might be a difference later on, but right now I haven't seen the difference. If you see something, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking at prices sold, especially on like first chapter Enchanted. I'm tracking those, especially with set rotations going on. It's just going to be interesting to see what the value of the cards do as we go into set rotations, as Fabled comes out and we start moving forward with that. Don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it'll be pretty interesting to see. So, all right, a lot of talking on that one. A couple of cards. We have more Rain and Jafar that came in. We'll be opening those in other videos. So we're working on the second Rain of Jafar box right now. That's maybe it'll come out before this. If it hasn't, it'll be coming out soon. And then we have two more boxes and then a case. We ended up getting a lot of boxes on this one. I'm not necessarily sure why. Maybe we're just really trying to hit that It Means No Worries Enchanted. Though I really just do enjoy opening packs. So I can always keep doing that. We'll be looking forward to Fabled. We'll be doing pack openings with that. And we'll talk more about PSA grading. And I did see the comment on the first video about asking for the Cherna dog or the Cherna puppies. I am working on that. I would say I'm quasi-theory crafting, but I'm not the best Lorcana player by any means. I'm probably okay, maybe, at best. I did see some decks that call themselves Cherna dogs. I don't necessarily agree with them because I implemented an arbitrary rule that said I can have Chernabog and I can have dogs or puppies in the deck and characters, nothing else. So a lot of the other decks, they use other characters because the other characters are actually useful for making a competitive deck. Mine, it's only dogs, it's only puppies. And so is it great? No. Is it playable? Maybe. Is it fun? Absolutely. Yeah, because it's just nothing but dogs. And I think that's hilarious. And if you can get Chernabog out, you get this 9/9 creature out with 3 lore, and it's just a lot of fun with it. So I'll record some videos of that being played. We'll see how it goes with that. But it is coming. I am going to make that. So I'm happy to do any other requests for those sorts of theory crafts in the comments. I think it's a lot of fun. But that's everything I have for this time. So if you like it, please let me know. If you want to see something else, also please let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time. Bye.